Everybody, we have a great TikTok Shop roundtable for you. We have Positiv, which is doing millions of dollars on TikTok Shop. Their Senior Director of Marketing and Sales, Lindsey Bishop, is going to be going through exactly what they're doing on TikTok Shop and what's working right now, down to how they structure their commission rates, how they incentivize their creators, all that good stuff. We also have Jasper, co-founder of Social Army, one of the biggest TikTok Shop creator groups. You have Will, CEO of Outlandish, one of the biggest TSPs or TikTok Shop partner agencies, as well as myself, co-founder of Zainith Agency. Not a lot of fancy editing, just straight information, straight material about what's working right now on TikTok Shop. So let's dive right into it.
Well, I think to get started, I want to do a quick introduction round because we have a lot of new people in here. So I guess everybody, we could just kind of do a quick introduction. I think, Zain, if you want to start.
Sure, my name is Zen. I'm a co-founder of a TSP agency based out of New York. So basically like end-to-end TikTok shop management, affiliate management, ads, all that good stuff.
Perfect. Will?
Hi, everyone. My name is Will. I'm the founder and CEO of Outlandish, a TSP. And yeah, I'm excited for today's webinar. And by the way, that ad rebate, if you haven't run ads, you should definitely sign up to that, because that could be like $2,000 in cash, like literally. Okay.
Free money. Free money. Lindsey?
Hey guys, I'm Lindsey. I'm on the marketing team at Positiv, which is a women's health and supplement company. And I've been running TikTok Shop for the last couple of years.
Nice. Great to have you, Lindsey. Thank you for your time. Desiree?
Hi, everybody. I'm Desiree, and I'm part of the Social Collective. I'd say most notable career decision of my life was joining Shopify as their #3 US hire. Worked there for almost 7 years as the company grew to 12,000 employees and got to work with really amazing brands during my time there. So really excited to be here and help you all with any of your questions.
Perfect. Then I think last but not least, myself. So I'm Jasper. I'm the founder of Social Army, which is currently the biggest creator community on TikTok Shop. So yeah, very excited to have everybody here today, and I hope everybody in the audience is as well. But I think we can get started. Of course, we're gonna take the first 30 minutes mainly focused on Lindsey. So Lindsey, I think to get everybody a little bit of a background on yourself, of course, you're at Positiv, maybe a quick background on Positiv, and yeah, just to kind of who the brand is, what you're doing there, and then also maybe a little bit about the start on TikTok Shop, like when did you start?
Totally, yeah. Positiv has evolved into kind of a full suite women's health and supplement company. We started with one product. Our founding team is a brother-sister duo. The genesis story is the sister of the two co-founders was having PMS problems, and they come from a very entrepreneurial family, and they decided to kind of attack this problem together and like make a solution for it, essentially. And that solution turned into our PMS gummy vitamin. And was this really fun approach of really great marketing and a really approachable product, but a really efficacious formula. And that's how Positiv was born. We were primarily a direct response company for quite some time, but now you can find us in retail, CVS, Target, Walmart. We're also on Amazon. We still have our direct-to-consumer website, and then we also are on TikTok Shop. So kudos to our CEO. A couple years ago, he was just kind of curious about TikTok Shop, saw TikTok kind of like buzzing with people talking about it on the platform, was really interested in what it could potentially do in the affiliate space, meaning connect purchases to content creators in a way that influencer never really was able to. And so he tapped me and was like, hey, can we spend a couple hours a week just investigating this, working on it, thinking if it's something interesting for us. And we did that for a few months. It was really he and I in the back end of TikTok Shop, sending messages, responding to creators, sending out samples. And then within a few months, we had one video go viral, and then a month after that we had another video go viral, and that's really what put us on the map. And the platform just highly exceeded our expectation in terms of growth. And so now it's a part of our main business. So now it's something that I do a lot more than just a couple hours a week.
Nice. But that's interesting. Last week we had Physician's Choice come on, and they said, yeah, the first month they immediately took off. But it sounds like for you guys, how long did it take before it took off? Do you know?
It took about 3 months.
Okay, that's a pretty.
So yeah, it was almost 2 years ago. I'd say we got started in like October, and then we didn't see virality until December, January.
Okay.
And I've talked to reps as well, like TikTok shop reps, and they say for new brands, think about it. I tell people a 3-month horizon just because that was my personal experience, but they say 6 months. Like, expect to be playing this game for 6 months before you see any traction. If it happens earlier, congratulations, and you maybe like hacked the system a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a great nugget directly. I see Zain and will immediately be happy because a lot of brands think, oh, I start TikTok shop, I be go live
No, give up
in
too early.
2 months. Yeah.
Can't give up too early.
Your estimate now 6 months at least to
Yeah.
get
3 to
ready.
6.
Yeah, and one video can change all. I think that's still something that a
One
lot of
video can totally change all.
yeah, and that you just need to push for that one video in the beginning phases. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Will Zain anything to add on that? Because I know it's more your guys' side working with all the brands on a 6-month time horizon.
Yeah, I would just say like every brand is different, and some of them get really lucky at the start. It's like so much of it is like a volume versus quality game. For some people, they'll get that crazy video in like the first 200 samples that they send out, and then they're never gonna quit, and they're just addicted. And then some of them won't hit it until like month 5 or 6, like right before they're about to give up. So I would just recommend brands like if they're seeing it move in the right direction, like if GMV is even going up, like 5-10% month over month, like you're seeing it trend in the right direction, don't give up because it's so exponential. If it's like doing worse month over month, then that's a different thing.
Yeah. I also think it was just helpful for new brands to wrap their brain around cost. Like, a cost commitment is 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I would also add, see if you can track the spillover to other platforms, and because you should see results from there. And that, from an agency level, what we generally say is we can pretty much guarantee we can get the products in front of the right creators, and a lot of creators. We can't guarantee it's going to sell. So there's still going to be like some months of experimenting. Like, is the price right? Is the image right for the platform? Should we maybe adjust the creators we're targeting? What we'll see a lot of the time when we test a product, sometimes the people that are interested are not the ones you expect, especially on TikTok. So yeah, there's. I don't want to take up too much time. I'll give it back to Lindsey. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great insight for sure. So okay, so first few months really just kind of messaging. Were you already like directly sure TikTok Shop is going to be something you're going to focus on, even if it didn't go like right in the first 3 months? Were you almost on the kind of side of quitting, or how was it?
We weren't.
Oh, we're losing Lindsey. Lindsey, your Wi-Fi cut off. Not sure if you can still hear us. Quiet. Yeah, that's the phone booth. Always the phone booth. No Wi-Fi in the phone booth. Yeah, no, but that's it is, I think the 6-month thing is still something that almost nobody really understands. Even for us, like when we connect creators to a brand, I think they also expect, because we just connected to we're connected to, they expect like within 1 month immediately seeing results. But even once a creator gets the product, it can take up to, let's say, another 2 months before a video really starts taking off, sometimes even longer, especially if you take into consideration the whole GMV Max thing and videos being picked up later on. So yeah, I think it's really like a long-term play that you're doing, building your content library, building everything up.
Yeah, there's a lot of experimenting in the first few months. And like Lindsey said, one video can change everything. So you just need to keep experimenting until you either find that one video, or you find like, maybe live streams is more suitable for you, or but yeah, the content strategy is super important, and making sure like the pain point that you're solving with your product is clearly represented through your content and the right type of content.
Yeah. Have you seen, Lindsey, if you're back, by the way, you can just chime in, but have you seen brands like starting with live streaming and doing well with that?
Yeah. Actually, I speak to the Umbrush, the FHI Heat, the CEO of that. He says that although his first live streams didn't make that many sales, he said the first affiliates that seriously started making videos came from watching his live streams, which is an interesting look at it as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people watch your live streams.
Yeah, but and I also heard And the founder live streaming is something. Lindsey, she's on her phone. So let me see if I can get her on.
There's a couple questions in the chat, and maybe Zen would know the answer, maybe. Do you know how much was invested in those first 3 months on TikTok? Or typically for a brand?
So it might be asking for Lindsay specifically and O Positive, but for just like a regular brand that we would run, typically it's like 200 to 300 samples per month. So if each sample costs you, let's say like $10 after like COGS and shipping, obviously the more expensive the product, the more it's going to cost. So 2 to 3 thousand a month just in sampling. If you have like an agency working for you, you got to add in the retainer. Typically in the beginning, you don't spend a ton on ads until you have a piece of content that works really well. So you can expect, let's say 3,000 a month for samples going out, maybe just like a couple thousand on ads. And then if you have the budget for it and you have like flat fee creators or someone live streaming, it kind of starts to add up. We do have like a P&L that we send out to brands just to like help them understand like what revenue numbers they need to hit to be break even and to be profitable. So I'll grab the emails from this chat and I'll send it to everyone after the
Yeah.
call.
Lindsey, you're back. The phone
Yeah,
booth.
sorry guys. The phone booth cuts the Wi-Fi, so I am on my phone trying to make sure I stay connected.
No
They're
worries.
great for sound, horrible for Wi-Fi. I heard the question about initial investment and totally agree. Happy to add, or we can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, Lindsey. Would love to hear your perspective.
I think the first couple months, just echoing some things that were just said, first couple months, I really push new brands to think about their investment as samples, promotions, and sales, and then their commission rate. So typically for a new brand that's just getting started, I say don't do the retainers yet. If you have access to a creator network, or you have influencers that are on retainer for you on other platforms and you can kind of cross with them, go for it. But really investing should be around price, samples, and the commission rate. So offering a commission rate that's over 15% ideally. Having an always on discounting strategy for the first couple months, ideally maintaining enough margin still, but trying to run sales all the time. And then I would say, ballpark, because you're a little bit limited in the number of messages you can send as a new brand at first, ballpark around 200 to 400 samples in the first few months. And then that can increase pretty quickly as your GMV climbs and awareness generates around your brand.
I have a quick follow-up question. How important do you think the commission rate is in the beginning versus as a more mature shop? And is there like a standard you think that creators take seriously if it's at a certain number?
It's funny. I actually used to think that commission rate was like king and like the most important thing, but I actually think product price is more important and volume. So I think creators are looking for what's something that's a reasonable price that's going to drive high volume. And as long as they can get a cut of that, fantastic. Because they're looking for things that have the potential to, one, not sell out, and two, be really viral. So I think a creator is more inclined to go for a product that's got tens of thousands of units sold already and maybe 10% commission rate than they are for something that they don't know that's got 20% commission rate and a couple hundred units sold. However, as a new brand, I think it's something you still try to put as high as you can afford, because you don't have units sold. You don't have enough of a book of business yet to be flashy to the creators, unless you're like L'Oreal or something that's like already big and then you're coming onto the platform. That's different. But I do think that the 15 to 25% range is kind of a sweet spot. And then over 25% is special. So over 25% is like, you are an amazing creator for us, or we know you're an amazing creator and we really, really want to work with you, but we can't afford a retainer. How can we kind of entice you to join our program?
So do you do a lot of these target plans to creators, and do you do it after they start selling, or would you be like, here's the creators I really want to work with, I'm gonna give you a higher commission rate?
Yeah, because we've been around for so long, we use commission rate definitely as like a thank you to our top creators. So creators that, are consistently creating content for us and are driving GMV, we do offer them a higher commission rate. We also sometimes will do a combination of a product discount and an even higher commission rate on new SKUs. So on a new product we're trying to launch, we want to get attention. We'll do a higher commission rate and we'll do a sale to try to just like get creator attention.
That's a good idea. I like that. That's a good tip for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and I think
Check
what
your
you're
margins, everyone, but if you can.
No, but that's the hard thing, right? Because creators, they're really looking at the bigger brands. For you, if you change your commission structure, a creator that's already doing well, they will really thank you for that because they know they can now make $1,000, $2,000, $5,000
Yeah.
on a few percent increase. But if you're a new brand and you say, hey, we have 5% more commission, creators don't really care because they don't really know how to sell it. So I guess indeed, like what you're saying, having low prices in the beginning as a new brand, I think that's going to be an important one, especially now. I've seen some brands doing it very successfully just to get to the first few thousand units sold, and then you can up your prices a little bit to get your creators to attach to you and everything. So yeah, I like that for sure.
Yeah.
I think you have, of course, a Positiv, at least what I've heard from our creators, also has one of the better creator communities as a brand. At least like
That's so nice. We're always trying to figure out what to do with
no,
that.
really,
That's
like
very flattering.
there, like nowadays especially, right? There's hundreds of creator communities from brands. Creators are getting a little bit annoyed by it even sometimes because there's so many always getting invited. But I've heard a few times, okay, the Positiv one I really like. So I would love to hear from your side. Okay, why did you launch it? What has been the impact? I think you guys are one of the earlier ones to launch it. So what has been the impact, and where do you position it now for a brand starting, and when should you kind of launch?
Yeah. I think really one of the first reasons why we needed to make it was we needed a very consolidated place to talk to our creators because our category was being inundated with violations from TikTok Shop. And so our creators, their videos were being taken down, their accounts were being frozen, like they were having all of these issues. And obviously, like as a one-off creator, you have no power with TikTok. And so we were like, okay, us as a brand, how can we help our creators because they're the ones that are really driving revenue for us. So like we need to take care of them. We need to kind of like make sure that we're giving them some air cover if we can. So that's really what started it first and foremost. And then secondly was we wanted to be able to give our live sellers flash sales and be able to collect Spark codes from our creators, and like sending Google Forms on collab chat was really obnoxious. So those are the three kind of like functional reasons that we started our Discord community. And I think it is just very smart for brands to figure out, if it's not Discord, how you can communicate with your creators, because there will be issues, there will be things they want from you. And it's kind of like you're connected directly to source. Like I've made pricing mistakes too, and the creators are the first people to catch it and like tell me that the pricing isn't what it's supposed to be. Like they live and breathe TikTok. So being connected to them, I think, is really wise. And what do we do in there? We have chats where people just talk. They talk about the products. We share collaboration chat and target plans. I think the notifications often get lost. So even if we're sharing, tips and tricks about a product, or we're sharing news of a new product launch, I think it's often missed by creators in platform. But our Discord, we're able to share those things in an archive, and they're able to go back and visit. So we have product launch announcements. We'll sometimes highlight new videos that are doing really well. I think it's also an opportunity for creators to help each other. So, like commenting, liking, sharing each other's content as well.
Yeah.
That's great. Lindsey, I know we have you only for a few more minutes and we're getting so many great questions in the chat. So maybe we do like a speed round of questions.
Cool.
One
Sounds good.
like what you were just talking about. Do you provide a creator brief to your creators?
Not really. I know brands that try to brief like exactly what content, or they'll send like multiple briefs depending on like the type of thing. What we try to do actually is educate creators around the benefits of the products and like what the ingredients are and what they're doing, because we found that creators are they're more creative. Like I could tell you to do something and you could have an idea that's 10 times more creative. So it won't work with everyone. There's some people that just low effort, don't care are making the piece of content to check the box and check their fulfillment. But really the power of TikTok, I think, is that affiliates are so creative. And I think also they can speak about the brand in such a personal way that we don't, and our products in such a personal way that we don't get to because we're the brand. So we sound biased, or it sounds, like contrived, but we have people trying our products and they can speak to their firsthand experience. So I'd rather just let them be free with that. I will educate them. I'll give them the ingredients, the product benefits, what some of the reviews are saying, or if we have like any kind of other support about the product details in that regard. But I won't tell them, in the first 1 to 2 seconds, say this and then do this and then that. That's not how we direct them.
Great perspective. Yeah, you don't want to kill their creative
Yeah.
flow. Byron from the audience is asking, what software does O Positive use to measure profitability, attribution, and creators?
So, profitability, it depends on kind of like what else you're doing. You have to, if you're doing ads and stuff, obviously include all of that in how you're thinking about order profitability. I mean, you get all of the data in TikTok at the order level. Ads is where you have to think the most about attribution. Ads that are like TikTok non-video ads, non-creator ads, but creator ads are directly attributed to the creators, and actually even like the shop tab ads are as well. Actually, wait, sorry. All of shop ads are directly attributable. It's your D2C ads that are more difficult because there's no kind of like analytics to back it up. So if you're only focusing on shop, you'll be able to know like what you're spending, what orders are coming through, and how they're attributed. So everything is in platform. That's kind of what's remarkable about TikTok Shop, and what also differentiates it from TikTok linking to your website. And then other than that, it's like just your own spreadsheet, like your cost of goods sold, thinking about your commission rate, throwing all that into whoever, if you want to include the overhead of your employees, all of that.
Great
But we're not
answer.
using any tools. Yeah.
I'm going to skip some of the questions because some I think Zen can answer. But one is, for a new brand, having huge volume is kind of challenging, who are still trying to see PMF. What do you suggest how they could get affiliates? Is it okay to have 15 to 20% commission?
What is PMF?
I'm not sure.
That's okay.
Product market
So
fit.
I think what's
Product
tricky
market
about
fit. Okay.
product market fit. Okay. What's tricky about new brands is the outreach cap. So I think you're capped to 1,000, like outreaching to 1,000 people a week or 1,000 people every couple of weeks until you reach a certain level of GMV threshold. So that is definitely tricky. So I would think about really targeting those lists every week and being more diligent about who you're reaching out to. Like use tools like FastMoss. If you have a TikTok shop rep, ask them for the top creators in your category. Ask if they have any direct connection to creators. Potentially work with Social Army if you're already big on other marketplaces and are just trying to be big on TikTok shop. So that's one. And 15 to 20%. Yes, I think it's okay. I think I would then, my next question to you is like, what's the price point of your product? 15 to 20%. Can you run a good discount on that product is my follow-up.
Thank you so much. I know you have a hard stop, and we
Oh yeah, I
took
do already
from
over.
your time.
Thanks,
So
guys.
we really appreciate you, Lindsey. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
Lindsey.
it. Have a good one.
Lindsey, we'll do a part 2, I guess, because we have more questions, but we can do that later. Thank you so much.
Yeah, save them and throw them in the Discord too if people are
I
in the
will.
Discord.
I
Cool.
will.
Oh yeah,
Sounds good.
Lindsey's
Bye,
in our
everyone.
Discord community, so join. Bye.
Yeah, that too. Bye.
Okay, so we'll keep going, guys, as well. So don't stop off yet. We have another 30 minutes. But yeah, I think very interesting hearing from Lindsey. And for me, the most interesting part, I think, is that to hear every big brand is taking on such a different approach. I think that's, for me, some do fully focus on retainers. Lindsey is no retainers at all. She never worked with retainers. Like just seeing that everything can work, that there's no like one way fits all. Makes me interested in just every new brand, because I know I think Will, Zain, you guys have also seen some brands just doing it again completely different than anybody else, maybe only focusing on live streams or maybe doing it completely different, which I think it is cool to see. But we will for sure get Lindsey on another time. I think there's too many questions, so if you have any other questions, please put them in the chat as well. We'll kind of save them all. As she said, she's also active in the Social Collective Discord, so there she will also be available to answer questions and kind of go back and forth a little bit. but we'll get her on again.
Yeah, and if any of the questions then you want to answer, because I think some of them are a little bit broad, I think we can go through them. And she also mentioned FastMoss as a solution, and we actually partner with FastMoss. We have a discount and trial in our community, which will save you hundreds of dollars. So just wanted to plug FastMoss. But
FastMoss
yeah,
is expensive. We have a really good discount on FastMoss.
yeah, it's really good. So yeah, Zen, if you see any of the questions you feel like you'd be great at answering, feel free. And we'll still have Lindsey answer in the community too. And someone's
sure.
asking, what is FastMoss?
So FastMoss, I think, is the main analytical tool. So if you know Kata data, FastMoss is kind of the brother or sister of that. They are just really combining all the data that they can get from TikTok into like more structured ways of kind of looking at it, seeing trends, seeing what is going viral, seeing looking into, for example, like let's say a brand like Positiv or another brand to see like, what type of videos are doing well for them or what is their GMV estimate. So it's a great tool to just look at competition, look at what's going well, and also in general just get more knowledge on TikTok Shop in general.
So I'll take a couple questions and then we can just like round robin it. Will can go and then Jasper can go. One question that I see is like what percentage of affiliates are actually generating sales? Like, and the question was like 10 to 20%. I think like 10% is probably accurate, sometimes even less than that. And that's why you see brands focus so much on retaining the creators that are doing well. Like the last thing you want is like your top creator to just hop to another brand. That's why contests are great. That why for some brands, like they do retainers or they'll just pay like, you know, 500 for 5 more videos or something like that. So I think that's definitely a good idea. And then Muhammad asked, are high priced products good on TikTok Shop to sell? I think the higher the price, the more difficult it gets because it is such like an impulse based platform. If you look at like the top products on TikTok Shop, they're going to be in like that $20 to $30 range after flash sales. So it's definitely possible. But then it comes down to like just value. So if it's like a $200 vacuum and you're discounting it to like $80, you can make an $80 product move because people are used to paying a lot higher for good quality vacuums. But if it's like $100 supplement and you're discounting it to like $80, $90 and there's competitors that are selling what looks like to be the same product for 20, $30, it's just going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, no, fully agreed. I think one interesting thing that we talked about last week as well in the webinar is about sustaining hero product. I think this is a very interesting topic to talk about in general, just because I think a lot of brands, let's say they get married to one product that's doing well for them on TikTok, but there is something to be said about that. I think there are certain brands or certain products that have really have a lifetime on TikTok where it will also kind of end or slow down. It cannot always be very high. So Will, I'm not sure if you have an estimate, but I would say like 6 to 8 months. Let's say the products that are hype based, and then you have, of course, the product that can be repurchased. Let's say supplements, they can live for way longer. Not sure if you have any other thoughts on that, Will, but I think that's an interesting one for sure to touch base on.
Yeah, there's always going to be basically what you're doing is like getting viral, right? And to certain degrees, and then obviously you're not going to be viral for the rest of your life. So you need to make sure you're coming up with that next hero product. And a really good way to make a hero product is to bundle. Recently, I think it's okay to share this, but we're working with Chemical Guys and we made like these bundles recently because their prices are very high. How do you sell a high priced item? Well, you can think of innovative ways to make a hero product look like a better deal by bundling. So you can use that method as well.
Yeah, and then on bundling, I have some thoughts on this. I think bundling it's hard to make it a hero product. I think bundles one. I'm not sure, but I don't think they will like really generally be like a number one product in your store. Usually, like let's say number 3, number 5, number 10, because bundling is more expensive, right? If you put 2 products together, the price together will be higher, so it's harder to like quickly impulse sell it on TikTok. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think if the product's already a high priced, it's a better idea. It depends. Like if you're already a well-known brand and you bundle, because one of the reasons that you might bundle is because you don't want to disrupt your other channels and you want to have a TikTok Shop specific product that doesn't compete on price with your other channels. If you're a new brand and you need that impulse buy, then yeah, bundling might not work. So yeah.
Yeah, because I think brands in general, they always also come to us and say, yeah, we'd love to sell a bundle. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Everybody loves to sell a bundle. We should just have a higher AOV, but it's not always the easiest to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it also depends on the content, right? So for example, in this one, it's like a foam blaster with all the accessories that come with it. And you need the accessories. So you have to buy it anyway. So to bundle it makes sense. But if
Yeah.
you're selling, I don't know, like you can bundle like if you think about the health category, maybe I'm just thinking of like Goalie, where they have the bundle of the top 3 viral products, but you usually wouldn't start with that, right? That's almost the second hero product,
Yeah,
So
no, it's fair. Yeah, I think bundle. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an interesting thing to discuss. For brands, of course, it's always very interesting. I just think if you have 2 different USPs on a product that you have to explain in a video, then it gets very difficult. I think live streaming
yeah,
is different, but I think in a video, because you have short time that you have to explain everything, can be more difficult, right?
yeah, I agree. So either one of the products already viral, and the bundle's like your second product that you're just like, hey, get this one. You've seen this. How about these 2 together?
True.
Or it's like, you're buying this product, you should get I don't know, the accessory that you need to get with it anyway. You can buy it by itself, or you can buy it as part of the bundle, and it's like $1 more or something like that. But really, you can make it so it's quite profitable, so that one extra accessory really doesn't cost you that much, because you're shipping
Yeah.
it, like the shipping costs are there anyway. So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, Desiree, can you keep a check a little bit on the chat and which questions you think we should answer? Because there's a lot of them. What are
Yeah, I love it. I see Viviana, she asked how many products in your experience you need to send to be successful. I see a lot of samples being sent to creators and only 20% of creators actually posting. Some creators tag the product on live, but they don't actually ever talk about the product.
Yeah, I think they're fixing that. I heard. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that, but I think they're fixing something there that you have to at least sell something on live, but I'm not sure if that's already active, but they're fixing that part. I think 20% of the creators posting. I'm not sure. Will Zain, if you guys have any other thoughts there, I think it's a little bit higher than 20%, at least if I look at kind of our data, but yeah, what do you guys say?
If you're sending it to people who have a high fulfillment rate, like you'll see their post rate. And if you're sending it to people who have at least an 80% post rate, we've seen historically, like their historic post rate kind of matches what they end up doing for us. So 20% is really bad. I would start just sending it to creators that have a higher post rate. And like Jasper said, they're changing it. So instead of like being able to go live for 15, 20 minutes and that fulfilling the requirement, you do need to generate a sale from live for it to count. So we should see fewer of those situations. But yeah, I would just filter more, granular to like the creators that are actually having a high post rate, and then you shouldn't have that issue.
Yeah, no, agreed.
And
So
Jeremy's asking paid versus organic commission rate.
paid organic, paid meaning if you pay a retainer, or paid meaning if we do a
I think
shop.
paid ads.
Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts there?
I think it's
Yeah,
okay to do like
you can go,
5 or
Zane.
go ahead, Will.
No, you go. This is
I was just gonna say I think you can drop it by like 5 or 10%. I wouldn't go much lower than that because then creators do get pissed. If you're offering 35% and you just drop it to 5% and there's no place for them to opt in, right? It's not TikTok doesn't have a system where like the creator's like, oh yeah, I'm okay with it being 5% if you run ads on it. There's not that system doesn't exist yet. So you do need to be really careful that you don't piss off like your top affiliates.
Yeah,
100% agree. Yeah.
affiliate stock. That's one thing I think that a lot of people don't or underestimate. Like if I look in our community, for example, the amount of talk affiliates have under each other about brands and about also kind of putting brands out there if they're doing things that are not that nice. It's a lot, and creators will know eventually. So it's better to keep the creators on the good side, let's say.
We have, oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to see the one from Jose, but you can go there. Sorry.
A lot of creator questions. So how do you guys go about retaining creators in an affiliate program, and what do the retention workflows look like to keep creators incentivized to post? And then I think this is also a question from the same person. Does the quality of content created by affiliate influencers matter, especially for a new store? Is it something you can influence?
So a lot of questions. Yeah. So I think one, retaining creators, it is kind of a chicken and the egg, because if creators earn money, they will retain. If creators are not earning money, they will not retain. It's kind of that easy. Of course, you can build a good relation. Yes, being good to them. Yes, helping them out. It will help them. And yes, if you have a very nice founder story behind the brand, maybe they want to post a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it's all about also for the creators, how much money can they earn? What is the potential? So I think that is the answer on the first question. I'm not sure, Zain and Will, if you have anything else you want to add there.
The way that I look at affiliates in general is kind of like casting a wide net into the ocean and fishing. And if you do like the mass sample and then seeing what fish kind of, catch on and sell. And at that point, maybe you want to keep that fish and put it in your little pond and grow it, right? That's your community. I think what a lot of brands make the mistake of, maybe they're fishing in the wrong area, or they catch a fish and they just throw it back. That's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if a creator is doing well, competitors are coming after them, other people are coming after them, other brands are coming after them. Then it is very important to really build that relationship, really sit down with them, really make sure you have the conversations. But yeah, before that, it's indeed like just finding them by casting out the net. I guess that's a nice way to say it.
And then do you think quality of content matters?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Okay.
Easy.
And then next question, do you DM creators after inviting them to a campaign? And do you let it live in the affiliate center?
Zain will.
Zain, do you want to take it? I don't mind. You can take it if you want.
I think like it's smart if you send them a target collab to also message them. So because some people only check target collab, some people only check messages. You can let it live in affiliate center, but kind of like what I think Lindsey mentioned, it's like a lot of times they're just not going to see it. Versus if you can get them into a Discord or get them into a WhatsApp, then you can own that communication a little bit better. It lets you send. I think now in DMs you can send images and files. I think you can now, but you used to not be able to. But in Discord and WhatsApp, you can send unlimited types of content. You don't have to worry about saying the word Amazon or something and it getting censored. It's just like you just have more control, and you can also get them to post off platform. So if they do like at least 1,000, 2,000 sales or whatever your threshold is, definitely would encourage you to put them into some kind of external group and then try to build that Discord group. I think Lindsey kind of showcased how important that's been for their success.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's you have things like, for example, DMing also on TikTok, right? I'm not sure if you guys are using this. I heard from some creators of our group that if they receive a DM on Discord, and of course you have a limit on the amount of DMs you can send, like not in the affiliate center, but just normal TikTok DMs, that these are being received more quickly than an affiliate message. So these are also, I think, ways that you can connect a little bit better with a creator, especially if you're reaching out like manual. Let's say you have a group of like 50 creators you really want to get in contact with. Try different ways. Not only send them a mass message, also try to TikTok DM them. Maybe see if they have an Instagram account where you can send them a message, because they're getting a lot. They are getting a lot of messages. So kind of going a little bit broader than just quickly sending a message. I think that's important there. And then I see like, does hosting weekly calls and having a course for your specific brand help? Yeah, I think the more you can do for the creator, the more they start to like you. The more you can be different than other brands, the more you will stand out and the more creators want to do with you. So I would say, for example, for creator communities, if you just do exactly the same as every other creator community is doing, every other brand community is doing, it's not going to stand out. So make something that stands out that people really appreciate. You can be creative with it. You can do something like a leader course, like maybe something else, just so people feel like, hey, I'm putting in more effort than any other brand. Creators will see this, and I think that will be the impact you will have with it.
I see a question here asking about our community. I'll just share it again. It's called The Social Collective. You can go to socialcollective.io, and that is how you join our community. But we'll send an email out after the call just so you can see that. And then someone asked about a discount code for FastMoss. That will be in our community as well.
Just a little bit of background. I think like one thing we saw and why we started doing these webinars and everything is just there is not really a place for brands and sellers and agencies to come together, ask questions. And there's so much changing on TikTok. Of course, as we all know, TikTok is moving forward like crazy, like compared to any other platform. They're making new adjustments, doing new things. Strategies are changing. And I feel like, of course, a lot of brands are working with agencies and that's also great. But some brands are maybe just starting out. They have a very small team. They cannot directly work with an agency, or they just want to really stay up to date on everything that's going on. that's also the main reason why we kind of started this, bringing together the people in the space. We have a lot more cool guests coming. Last week, Physician's Choice, now all Positiv, Zain here as well. And then kind of we keep bringing in new brands and new things. So yeah, that's the main reason why we started it. And indeed, it lives in Discord. We have the community. We also have a small course, everything kind of you need to know as a seller to get started.
Jason is asking, how long should we keep paying bad creators a retainer before cutting them off?
I think we talked about it last week, right, Will? Like how should you run around creator retainers? I think really like there's two ways. I think one is if creators are already getting money, so retainers are a little bit tricky because if you pay them up front or you say, hey, you're gonna get $1,000, they can go into a mindset where they think, oh, I already earned my money. I'm just gonna finish my tasks that I kind of set to do, which is, for example, 10 videos. They're not really pushing anymore on getting the commissions or like really making viral videos. I'm not every creator, but I think some. So I think it's really about finding the balance there. I think if you see a creator is really putting in their effort, really coming back to you, it's like, hey, I'm doing this, keep them for longer. If it's just like, hey, where's my money? I made the videos and they're not performing, I would be kind of quick with cutting them off.
I like to give them KPIs, right? You have, this is your goal for this month. If you want to keep your retainer, you got to hit this goal. And you're the ambassador for the brand. This is the goal you have to get to. And there are some brands that get creative and do these campaigns where if you reach this, I'll give you a Tesla, I'll buy you an apartment in Miami.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's things like that. You just need to incentivize them to keep going. And if they get lazy, just cut them immediately. That's why, like, you don't want to work with them either. Like, what's going on here?
The creators are different than employees and things, but I would still kind of treat them like if you have an employee that's just doing their bare minimum and just kind of trying to get their time through, like you don't want to keep them for too long. If you have an employee that's staying for longer, coming with new ideas, doing things, even if they're not directly getting a return, but you kind of want to invest in them because they're also investing into you, I think that's also a good way to look at it. If like you set a KPI, for example, 10K GMV, they hit 5K, but they're overdoing their amount of videos, they're coming to you multiple times, then you know they want to do it, right? So I think looking at it like that would make sense.
We have a question about someone, they manage a shop doing around $25,000 a week, but they lost their AM at TikTok. They can't get a hold of another AM. How do we get support from TikTok? And I see this all the time. TikTok also has like internal shuffling. So AMs, you know, sometimes move on from that team. But I know in our
25K
community,
a week.
yeah, I think
that-
they
was
should
that-
have a
yeah.
dedicated AM, right?
Yeah, we should be able to get them one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just message us somewhere. We can see if we can get something if you have 100K a month. Yeah. But yeah, it's I think of course you need to hit your numbers. Also make sure yeah, if you cannot get your support directly, make sure you at least have some people that you can ask support to. So maybe if it's not like a direct TikTok employee, maybe like it is other agencies or other people in the space that have connections because there are enough, right? So make sure you build those relationships. Again, that's also why we have this ecosystem, but kind of build your relationships to be able to have your questions answered, because of course it is very important.
Next question from Ben. What is the typical creator base rate for 30 videos a month?
There's no base rate.
Typical.
Yeah, no. It
No.
depends on so many factors. One, I would say how your brand looks on TikTok, right? If it's fully new, no sales, nothing, it's way harder than if you have a brand that's already selling very well. Two, depending on your creators, like how good are your creators? Are they selling well or not? Are they like involved in doing creators? Are they doing lives or videos? There's a lot to be said about that. I would say, yeah, what is normal? I would say 30 videos. If you can get 30 videos for 1,000, that's a nice rate. But of course, you're not going to get that with the top creators. So it really depends on the creator. But also watch out, because if you're just going to cold outreach to creators, or you can get the creators that are just there for the money, retainer money. So yeah, be careful of that if you're kind of setting up those partnerships.
Next question. What's the criteria to onboard a specific brand to TikTok shop? What kind of category do you prefer? Or is preferred, I guess?
Like an agency question, or? Okay.
I think maybe just like, when should you put your brand on TikTok shop?
Will?
When should you register on TikTok Shop? Right now.
Today.
Yeah.
Go.
Wait, what's that? How do you get in contact with a category? I mean, if you're in like a restricted category, you need to get whitelisted. I think there's still a couple. depending on the size of your brand, you could potentially reach out and see if they can help with that. But yeah, I think I just need a little more context to this question. I think it's hard for me to answer.
Yeah, if you don't mind typing it in the Q&A, Sean, if I'm saying that right. But it sounds like, what's the criteria to get on TikTok Shop? There really isn't. I mean, you just are selling something, right? And then what kind of categories are preferred? We actually have a ROAS by category chart in our community, which shows which categories are pretty strong. Will can probably talk about that more, but yeah, if you don't have a product yet, maybe you would consider like maybe an easier product to get into market.
Yeah. You want to talk about the ROAS thing or no?
Yeah, we just have an average estimate per category of what your ROAS should be for your brand. So, because a lot of brands go in blind, like they don't know what the ROAS is supposed to be for your category. Although ours is just an estimate, it's a good idea of what you could get on average. Yeah.
I think it's kind of a way you can look at your own ROAS and then compare it, right? So you know kind of where are you at in your category. Because sometimes maybe you see like other brands having a 10 or like a 7 ROAS and you're like, oh, what the fuck? But if this is a completely different category, it can make sense. Okay. Great. So I think I have a few more topics I also just want to touch base on, maybe not like question-wise. I think one is on GMV Max. There was a post I made yesterday in the Social Collective Discord about like a change. I got it. Somebody sent it to me about looks like normal shopping ads are going away on the 5th of August, I guess. So GMV Max is really going to be the only way to run ads. Zain, Will, what are your thoughts?
I think pretty much everyone is running GMV Max anyways at scale, especially if you're like a brand like Positiv, you get like 1,000 pieces of content coming in every like couple weeks. You're probably not gonna get those spark codes and like manually input it in the ads manager. So I don't think it's something that like anyone should be too upset about. It's kind of similar to like when Meta tried to push everyone to CBO and ASC instead of just like ad set budget optimization. So I don't think it's much to worry about. And I would just like, I would say in general for GMV Max, kind of like what Jasper was saying, is like every brand is like approaching it so differently. It can be hard to know like incrementality wise, like if I run GMV Max, is it actually getting me incremental sales or am I going to be getting sales that like I would have gotten organically? And we've seen with some clients where their ad account doesn't get topped up or like something happens and like the sales stay the same. So like there's some brands like I think Mary Roots is a good example. They say they spend like 10% of their revenue on GMV Max. They typically are like mainly organic. So I would just try and see what works for your brand, like see if GMV Max is actually creating a lift or try turning it off, see if it's not. We're just seeing that like it just depends on the brand.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I mean, even with GMV Max, there's still best practices. And I think maybe we can maybe that's the next video we make is GMV Max best practices for sellers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw it coming. I mean, other markets now, like multiple markets have opened, they only do GMV Max. And I heard by the end of this year that that this is what they would be doing. So I'm not surprised, but I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic for the old they're retiring the old ad center. Like I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of liked it. It was like a little
It's gonna go everywhere, right? Also Facebook. Like I started like 6-7 years ago just running Facebook ads, and I feel like in the next year that's also gonna go away. And then like TikTok just runs kind of front runs the whole thing, which is saying like now we have to just do GMV Max only. But yeah.
I mean, we're in a weird age right now. I mean, AI is running our ads. Have you seen the AI shoppable videos of the Yeti or whatever it is?
Yes.
It's pretty good. Like we don't.
I think it's
what's
not
happening?
not following the policies, but yeah, no, it's for sure good. So I think it was like in France there was the conference, right, where they were talking also about the AI things TikTok is launching and everything. So Desiree, I think you shared something in the community as well, but that's very interesting. Like even for creators, where is it gonna go? Our creators, I think they're still gonna have a place, but how will it all kind of be positioned? There's a lot of changes coming. I think for sellers, it's great because you have so many more tools. If you're front run it compared to other sellers, you can just do very well. But yeah, the industry
Yeah.
is changing very quick because products will still be sold. So you will have a place with you as a brand. I think creators, yeah, they have to also think like, okay, how am I going to position myself here? But yeah, a lot will change in the next few years for sure.
I think it's just going to be how well can you run AI. I think there's still going to be the AI operator, right? So like our video production content farm in Mexico, we're now looking at how because we already are doing quite a lot of videos. Now we're thinking, well, let's get these raw footage, chuck it in AI and see how good that content is. So now we were creating 10 videos. Now we can create 100 videos and lower our costs dramatically. But personally, what I think is going to happen is lower funnel creators that don't show their face, that just show the product, that people buy the product because it's viral. I think a lot of that is going to be overtaken by AI in the next 6 months. That's my guess. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess you have seen it, but the live stream in China,
yeah, live stream as well. We're looking into AI solutions, not like the China model, because we're a retail store. That would just be weird if there were just empty stores everywhere. but yeah, there's going to be a lot of integration with AI.
Have you seen the live one in China? The duo live?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's good.
Yeah,
I want to see it. But yeah, on the question that just was asked, do you think AI live hosts will happen in 2026? What's your answer?
I think it's already happening.
Yeah.
There's a couple in Southeast Asia, I'm following a couple of businesses that do it. They use it to extend their live streams. The quality isn't great. Like, it's still not like a human. But if you're just going like, the 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. shift, I'll give it to an AI bot. So that's kind of how it's being used currently. But the GMV doesn't increase dramatically.
The one that did 7 million, how was that? Like, did you see it? Was it like proper? Could you see the difference, or was it very hard?
I actually didn't watch the video. I just saw a picture. I'll have to look at the video.
I will watch it. I want to see it. TikTok allow it? I think for now you have to have product in hand officially, right, in the policy. So as a creator, if you make an AI video without showing the product, the official product, I think it's not policy. It's not following the policy. I think TikTok is thinking about it a lot. I know they're coming up with their own AI tools. So yeah, I think for sure it's gonna change in the next year. How it's gonna change, I think, yeah, for brands, again, it's more an opportunity. I think for creators, it's more of a thing that they really have to think about.
I think for creators, it's also an opportunity.
There's also the technology where you don't have to send product. It's like superimposed product in the video. So, I mean, things are evolving very quick. So then you don't have to lose cost on product seeding.
Yeah. But Will, you say creators will have an opportunity, yes, but if cost of content creation goes down to almost zero, the platforms will be overloaded with content, no?
I think that's just going to be I think the top creators will become top. Like, they will be producing 60% of the revenue between 100 creators, and that's what happens in a lot of Asian markets as well. You just, because you don't know who's real and who's not real, you end up just following the top guys that are real, and you want to and they do massive numbers, so their rates will go through the roof. It will become a hockey stick chart. The top creators will make the vast majority, and the rest will,
How do small brands enter such a market?
Well, I think it's going to be more product focused. It'll be more about what product are you selling, rather than how much content can you put out. Maybe it's going to be more quality, and celebrity / top creator collaborations. In Southeast Asia, it's already kind of there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. We're gonna let's try to get somebody from the TikTok side. I'm not sure if they are already able to talk on this, but I think this is a very interesting topic. I think for everybody to really understand. I think it's way broader than just TikTok Shop and social commerce. It's going way broader. Even general social media is going to be impacted. But yeah, I think it's a good discussion to have. Maybe also in the coming weeks, like another one to really dive into.
I know we're at time and there's still quite a few questions. I'm not sure what's the best route to get those questions answered. But if anyone wants to join the Social Collective, it's socialcollective.io. There's no contract. It's month to month. You can jump in there and we'll answer your questions too. The things that you get inside of our community, if you didn't know already, we do our weekly live call that we're doing right now, Monday and Friday office hours. We can ask like any technical questions, how to set up a shop, or maybe you can't get in touch with someone at TikTok. We can get in touch with them and try to figure it out for you. We have blueprints, we have courses, we have a ton of really amazing brands in our community that are chatting in there, like Lindsey from O Positiv, Mike from Physician's Choice, and a lot of really fun collaborations. And yeah, so, and then we have some incentives from TikTok because we partner with TikTok that maybe Jasper or Will can share about too.
Yeah, so we just talked about, I think afterwards we're gonna send out the email also with, of course, like Zain's connection and the agency and everything, but also just like kind of a breakdown. We're gonna do 50% because we're still like for the first 100 brands that join in, we have a 50% lifetime discount. So that's also gonna be sent there. It's Lindsey 50, but we're gonna send it out as well with the email, so you guys can join if you want to. If not, 100% fine. We'll have this weekly webinar every week. It's free. You can join in. We just want to really share a lot of value out there to help brands, agencies, everybody. Zainith.
Yeah, and Zain, someone was in the chat asking how to get a hold of you, so maybe you could let them know. And you're also in our community too.
Yep, for sure. I think best place to reach me and ask questions is in the Social Collective Discord. That way everyone can see the answers. But if it's something that's like super private, it's like you're trying to talk numbers, you can feel free to email me at my first name, Zain, at zenith.agency. And I'll get back to you, pretty quick. I actually have to hop, but thank you guys so much for having me.
Zain,
Thanks so much for being here.
for that.
Have a good one.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions on like something Social Collective related, or maybe have some suggestions on the webinar? Otherwise, yeah, in a few minutes we're also going to drop off, but we'd love to see if there's any suggestions maybe about the webinar. If you guys think we are too much, kind of doing too much Q&A, or if we want to structure it differently, we're always open. One question: I have a brand doing 100K a month, can decrease to 300K from the last 6 months. Is it on its on same positioning? Should I launch more products, etc., or what? Will, do you want to take that one?
With these types, we would usually want to do a shop audit and see where you're lacking, whether that's product, merchandise strategy, whether you're not doing live streams, and whether the affiliates you're working with are not inside. Like it could be a variety of different reasons. We would generally do a shop audit. If you're interested, you can contact me or Desiree.
Yeah. So help again, like we are of course able, you can just also send private messages, but in the Discord we're really active. So once you join the community, we can help there, but also in general, of course, Outlandish is helping brands as well, like one-on-one as an agency. And we are also sometimes helping brands with Social Army. So yeah, if you need anything there, let us know. If you want to just talk directly, join the community. If you just want to join us AMAs every week, also completely fine. Okay, amazing. Thanks everybody. Thanks for everybody's time. See everybody next week. So please keep your calendars kind of scheduled out for next week because we're going to be back next week. But yeah, very exciting. Thanks to Lindsey. I will try to get her on again. But yeah, exciting times ahead for sure.